Not all wounds show up as flashbacks or panic attacks. Some show up as, I'm fine, I don't need anyone, or quietly turning away when someone gets too close. In chapter 13 of The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel van der Kolk explains why so many trauma survivors struggle, not with the past, but with connection. Being able to feel safe with other people is probably the single most important aspect of mental health. And when your nervous system has learned that closeness equals danger, even love can feel terrifying. When someone you trust betrays you, or when you grow up without consistent care, your body starts to learn connection isn't safe. Over time, isolation becomes your armor. It feels safer to pull away. Even happiness can feel dangerous, like something that could be taken away at any second. Van der Kolk explains that trauma wires the nervous system to see intimacy as a threat. Someone hugs you and your body goes rigid. A friend tries to comfort you, but you can't feel it. You smile, you nod, but inside, it's like nothing's really landing. Traumatized people are often afraid to feel, he writes. Being in tune with someone else can make them feel out of control. So healing isn't just about talking through the past. It's about slowly, gently, learning to feel safe in the presence of someone else. Van der Kolk shares examples of therapies that don't just focus on analyzing trauma. They help people experience new kinds of connection. One of them is psychomotor therapy. In this approach, clients reenact moments from their life with the help of a group. But the goal isn't to relive the pain. It's to create a new ending. Imagine this. Someone who spent their whole life feeling invisible steps into the middle of a room. They don't have to speak. Other group members slowly step forward. One places a hand on their shoulder. Another meets their eyes. No one forces anything. They're just there. And for the first time, this person feels what it's like to be seen, really seen, without judgment, without needing to explain. That kind of moment can stay with someone forever. There's real science behind why this kind of connection matters. When we feel safe with someone, even briefly, the brain releases oxytocin, the hormone that helps calm your stress response. Your breathing slows, your muscles soften, and for a moment, the body stops preparing for danger. It may sound small, but it's not, because from that moment on, the body starts to believe, maybe not everyone will hurt me. Maybe I can be safe here. Now, I know that might sound a little too simple. Like, how could a hug or a kind word actually undo years of fear? But I once saw this play out in the most unexpected place. There's this Korean reality show called Sixth Sense. It's usually a comedy, really lighthearted. The cast visits 3 unusual or out there places, and they have to guess which one is fake. Most episodes are purely entertaining, robot-run burger joints, dessert-only Michelin restaurants, and things like that. But in one episode, they went to a therapy clinic, and everything changed. This wasn't scripted. The cast had to fully participate, and what they experienced was exactly what Van der Kolk describes in this chapter. There was a session where several people stood in the center of the room, and others offered gentle touch, a hug, a hand on the shoulder, just being with them. Then came the most powerful part. Each person took turns saying the words they had always wanted to hear. Not dramatic words, not big speeches, just simple things like, you did well, you've done enough, you were never too much. And by the end, almost everyone was crying, even the cast members who had been skeptical, who started off joking or uncomfortable, were suddenly overwhelmed. And not just the people hearing the words, but the people saying them. They broke down too, realizing that what they were saying was what they had needed to hear themselves. It didn't matter that they were coworkers or friends, or that the show was supposed to be lighthearted. For that moment, all of that faded, and the emotions were real. That's the power of feeling seen, and that's what this chapter reminds us of. Healing doesn't always come from analyzing the past. Sometimes it begins when your nervous system finally experiences a moment of safety and you realize you don't have to carry it all alone. You don't need a therapy group to start. And I want to pause on that Because I know sometimes advice like this can feel out of reach. Not everyone has a close friend they can confide in. Not everyone has a support system, or the kind of life where someone shows up just to listen. And therapy, while incredibly helpful, isn't always accessible. It's expensive, it's time-consuming, and depending on where you live or what you're going through, it might not even be an option right now. So let's talk about what you can do. One gentle starting place is asking yourself, what is it that I wish someone would say to me? What words do I long to hear? Not from a book, not from a therapist, but from someone who sees me. Maybe it's, I see your effort. You've done better than you think. You weren't too much. You didn't deserve what happened to you. If this feels hard, that's okay. Sometimes just trying to name those words brings up emotions you didn't expect. Grief, discomfort, even shame. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means you're touching something real. And if saying those words to yourself feels too far right now, you don't have to say them out loud, but consider writing them down, not just in a journal, but as an audio recording, even if it's just on your phone. Hearing the words spoken in your own voice can feel surprisingly powerful, especially when you don't feel ready to hear them from anyone else. This is where healing can begin, not in perfect connection with others, but in the quiet, courageous decision to connect with yourself. Trauma often teaches us to pull away, to protect ourselves at all costs, but healing reminds us you weren't meant to do this alone. Some days, even thinking about connection might feel too heavy. That's okay, but one safe relationship, even just a moment of being seen, can begin to shift something deep inside you. If this chapter speaks to you, know that the rest of the book keeps building on these ideas. It doesn't offer quick fixes, just honest possibilities. And if you're not ready to reach out yet, that's okay too. Healing can still happen, in your own time, in your own way, because the body keeps the score. But safety, slowly and gently, helps rewrite the script, one relationship at a time.